We've seen vast millions of burning desert acres barren only for lack of a little irrigation. And now even the oil men are beginning to squeeze the last drop out of every ton of shale. The power hunger is the same the world over, only it is more intense now. The more shocking recent example was the willingness of Egypt to close the Suez Canal and fight the world for a few kilowatts of electricity. Free energy devices can change all this in a remarkable short space of time. Enough electric power and energy in the right places, and we will have undreamed of markets for every other kind of goods and materials and appliances our factories and shops can turn out. And so goes the simple formula. Give the world enough electrical energy, and you raise the world's standard of living. Raise the world's standard of living, and you raise the world's economy. The best way to get the total concept of what free energy means to the world today is to suppose that the wheel were just now being discovered. Then visualize the free energy motor putting the wheel into the air, into an entirely new dimension. Industry must realize that these devices will provide power for automobiles, trains, great ocean liners, and spaceships, as well as for other such things as hearing aids, portable television sets, refrigerators, and will even furnish power, light, and heat for large cities or communities. Our free energy devices will do all these things by perpetual space forces of magnetism, gravity, and electromagnetism. And these forces alone, forces which are free and available everywhere on the face of the earth and throughout the universe. While the world is still groveling under the ancient edict that called for earning one's bread by the sweat of one's brow, the question of how free energy devices will affect employment is a paramount one. But Mr. Carr feels that his inventions and discoveries truly represent the inception of a basic new industry, which, for sheer size and scope, might be properly compared with the steel, automobile, and aircraft industries combined. He believes that pioneering in a free energy will automatically introduce a new concept of employment practices and employee relationships. Although the space people themselves have had no contact with Otis T. Carr and have had no direct hand in his work, it is safe to assume that they have been watching it carefully. In addition, Tesla and the Dove have assuredly directed it from the scientific department of Shambhala, making certain that it will fit into the divine plan at exactly the right moment. This, then, is the right moment. The grave danger that might have turned the entire enterprise into a gargantuan war machine is now over, for with the straightening of the Earth's axis completed, the hierarchy and the space people will be able to neutralize major war efforts. There may be sporadic minor clashes, but even these may now be avoided. Lord Michael, Prince of the Archangels, has had such tremendous success in his house-cleaning efforts that the final physical plane adjustments are not likely to be too formidable. It was that keen observer of nature, now the ascended Master Saint Germain, who in a former embodiment as Francis Bacon set the stage for the new civilization which he is building today. His basic plan for mankind was revealed in a simple prefatory remark in Novum Organum. If man would conquer nature, man must join with nature. Francis Bacon is an outstanding example of a man who successfully refused through 70,000 years as a civilization builder to fight against nature. As a result of this simple cooperative method, the floodgates of wisdom remained open to him. This resolute leader of humanity could look back down the corridors of the centuries with full continuity of consciousness and review the events which had carried the whole human race to the threshold of the Aquarian Age. Transmutation is the keynote of the Aquarian program for mankind. Any effort which man now makes to join nature helps to lift some of the heavy karma he has created by fighting nature in the past. Otis T. Carr has recognized the true responsive nature of the atom, when it is treated as an intelligence. Essentially, what we have done is collect, arrange, adapt, and orchestrate some of nature's compositions into harmonious assemblage, he explains. They are fashioned out of God's creation. They are instruments of peace. Their music is for all the worlds of man. We have come very, very far into the light since the dark, uncertain days of 1955, when it seemed that the worst cataclysmic prophecies of Armageddon were about to be fulfilled. As author H. Matthews so joyfully states, "Be of good courage, for we have God with us, and we have the spirit of Tesla with us." Yes, indeed, we have. All this and the white dove, too. We seem to hear the gentle rustle of white wings around us. We seem to hear the gentle voice of Nicola enfolding us, comforting us, assuring us that he still walks beside the one who was obedient to his command, "Go forth, explore space." There is the limitless azure skies in your rendezvous with destiny. The sea, the interminable sea, rolls on, a fluid portion of eternity. Wisdom, interminable wisdom, rolls on to mark the course of eternity. Jewels dropped at random are found, and their richness recognized by children of eternity. And such children walk among the masses, unrecognized for a time. Many of your years pass, a gem was dropped and found, and clasped close by a youth whom you now know. He is much loved here, and I sent him again, a word to lead him home. He knows me well, and those who remember me gently call me Nick. Good night. I don't know what that was all about, but that was sort of like a poem there. Could it be Saint Nick? Call me Nick. Good night. Okay. Let There Be Light is the next chapter. On one occasion, Tesla was presented with a medal, a symbol of gratitude, together with a paraphrase of Pope's lines on Newton. Nature and nature's laws lay hid in night. God said, "Let Tesla be," and all was light. This was the Venusian, the Superman, who arrived on this earth in a spaceship as a tiny baby, who grew to maturity to fulfill his great mission, that of assisting ascended Master Saint Germain to set up the machinery for the new scientific civilization that will lift the Aquarian age to heights of glory. 2,000 years ago, Saint Germain, then Joseph, watched over the babe Jesus, while a radiant space vehicle, the Star of Bethlehem, hovered above the stable. Few people of this planet today have any conception of the Herculean accomplishments of Tesla on behalf of the forces of light, but on other planets, in this solar system and in systems beyond, the people are well aware that they can extend the hand of friendship to us now, in this year of 1958, because of the mighty works of Tesla. There are many Earth people who will feel, even now, that Tesla should have found a way to overcome the obstacles placed in his path by the forces of darkness, that he should have forced a showdown that would have thrust his inventions upon the world, regardless of the ignorance and ambitions of a petty-minded opposition. But like the spaceman that he was, Tesla knew that he could only encourage us. He could not force his light upon us. He could only respect our free will. He was aware that humanity was plagued by the forces of darkness. He well knew that people were unable to see the significance of his role as a light-bearer. He was never bitter, never disappointed when people failed to appreciate his efforts. He would only smile in his slow, sweet smile in response to compassionate friends who felt they must offer apologies for human arrogance, for human self-will, and then he would quote in answer a favorite stanza from Goethe's Faust. "The God that in my bosom lives can move my deepest inmost soul. Power to all my thoughts he gives, but outside he has no control."